This is KCBD News Channel 11 at noon.
Good afternoon and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Shaley Sanders. We begin with breaking news. Covenant Health has acquired Grace Health System. The announcement was made today. We will have more details on this decision coming up in our later newscast and online. But right now on our website, kcbd.com, we have video of that announcement. New today, the high school football landscape in Texas has changed following the UIL announcement of new district alignments for 2018 through 2020. Changes are coming to a few area schools. Abernathy will move to 3A Division II, New Home to 11-man football, Morton to 6-man football, and Valley moving back up to 1A Division I. We have the realignment information posted to our website at kcbd.com. And in Loop, because of the high number of illnesses, school will be canceled tomorrow. Doors will open on Monday after crews work to sanitize those buildings. All sporting events will remain on schedule. Also new at noon, 3 airmen assigned to Cannon Air Force Base in eastern New Mexico remain in jail after being accused of sexual assault. The 3 arrests stem from an alleged incident early Saturday at a house party in Clovis involving a victim who was also assigned to the base. A spokesman for the base says officials will assist local law enforcement to ensure a thorough and complete investigation. An overnight fire damaged a home in northwest Lubbock County near Shallow Water. Multiple fire crews responded to the house on County Road 1616 shortly after midnight. The 2 people inside the home were able to escape. No other details have been released. Today is the 15th anniversary of the Columbia Space Shuttle disaster, and the Silent Wings Museum is honoring the crew who lost their lives with a new exhibit. 7 astronauts were killed when the space shuttle broke apart during its return to Earth over Texas on February 1st of 2003. Among those astronauts were Rick Husband, who went to Texas Tech, and Coronado High School graduate William McCool. The McCool family donated personal items to the exhibit. They will also be at the Silent Wings Museum's reception for the opening of the exhibit called Columbia 15 Years After, today from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. It is free and open to the public, and that exhibit will be on display until June 17th in the Timeline Gallery. Developing news out of Washington, a controversial memo will likely be released as early as today. Republicans say it shows misconduct by the FBI and the Department of Justice. Democrats argue the details in the document are cherry-picked in an attempt to brainwash. Kristen Welker joins us now from Washington with a closer look. The president will be in West Virginia today for that GOP retreat. And here at home, the midterm primary is a little more than a month away. Texas voters will be deciding on a variety of state and county races. We want to make sure you are informed when you head to the polls. So, KCBD News Channel 11 is teaming up with the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce. We are hosting a Decision 2018 GOP Candidate Forum for the Lubbock County Judges race. All 3 candidates, Gary Boren, Karen Gibson, and Curtis Parrish, agreed to participate. We will get started at 7 p.m. on Monday. You can watch it live on kcbd.com and on our KCBD mobile app. Turning to our weather, after a spring-like day yesterday, cooler temperatures are headed our way. Steve joins us now from the First Alert Forecast Center with details. Steve, when I walked into work earlier today, it was windy. It was so windy.
And you noticed the chill in the air.
The football frenzy is full on as the countdown to Super Bowl 52 gets closer and closer. Wendy Woolfolk is at the Mall of America just outside of Minneapolis. And remember, you can catch the big game right here on KCBD News Channel 11. Kickoff is set for 5:30 and Justin Timberlake will be headlining the halftime show. Well, last night, the 10th-ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders took down the Texas Longhorns at the USA in overtime, winning 73-71. The Red Raiders were led by reigning Big 12 Player of the Week, Keenan Evans, who finished the game with a career high of 38 points. 2 of those points came with time running out in overtime when he hit a buzzer beater to win the game. Tech is 14-0 at home this season. Meanwhile, to honor Andrew Jones, the Texas point guard who is now battling leukemia, the Red Raiders wore warm-up shirts with his name on them. And fans at the game held up a banner that said, "Stay strong, Andrew, #AJ1. Tech's next game is on Saturday at TCU at 1 o'clock, and from 2 to 3, students who could not get into last night's game are invited to drop by the arena for a gift from Coach Beard. Still to come.
All of a sudden, we felt this strong jolt, a really loud sound. We noticed that some of our colleagues who were standing fell to the floor.
The latest details in a deadly Amtrak train collision involving members of Congress.
Following a cold front last night, much cooler today. There's another cold front that will move through this weekend. I'll update your local forecast.
And an electrical issue is now prompting the immediate recall of thousands of Toyota and Lexus vehicles. We will have those details next on KCBD News Channel 11 at noon. Right now, investigators are back on the scene of a deadly train crash involving an Amtrak train and a garbage truck in Virginia. One person in the truck died while another is in critical condition after a chartered Amtrak train carrying congressional Republicans and their families slammed into the truck. Members of Congress who are also doctors started helping victims in the truck.
We did CPR for several minutes. I'm not sure whether it's how long, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and within moments the EMS showed up.
Everyone knew what they should be doing and took a role in trying to save life.
Witnesses say the railroad crossing signals were working and the crossing gates were down. Caught on camera, a quick-acting Illinois deputy was caught on dash camera pushing his fellow officers out of the way of a speeding car during a traffic stop. You can see in the video the group of deputies are in the middle of an arrest after a traffic stop over the weekend. That's when one deputy moves to push the group out of the way of a car. The sheriff's office wants this video to serve as an important reminder to slow down and move over if you see flashing emergency lights. Toyota is recalling thousands of vehicles to fix an electrical problem that could stop airbags from inflating in a crash. The 2016 Prius and Lexus RX vehicles and 2015 and 2016 Lexus NX vehicles are just a few of the models included in this recall. If you have one of these vehicles, you can take it to your Toyota or Lexus dealer to have the sensors replaced at no cost. Today is February 1st, which means it's the start of Heart Health Month. And with nearly 800,000 people dying across the nation every year from cardiovascular disease, it is important to always be aware of the symptoms. Dr. Sharif at the Lubbock Heart and Surgical Hospital says this is important because CVD affects nearly 1 in 3 people across the nation.
It is very common. It is the leading cause of death in the United States, more than cancer or any other illnesses. So we should be aware of it. We should be looking for it. We should learn about the risk factor of heart disease and try to address each one of them to prevent it.
Some of those risk factors include family history, smoking, lack of exercise, and poor diet. One of the most common and deadly forms of cardiovascular disease, a heart attack. Symptoms include shortness of breath or fatigue a few weeks before nausea and vomiting, lightheadedness or dizziness, and the most well-known, a pain in the middle of the chest that may also be felt in the back, neck, jaw, or arm. So, if you experience any of these symptoms, contact your doctor immediately or head to your closest emergency room.
This is the First Alert Forecast with Steve Devine.
Okay, thanks so much, Steve. Coming up next, News Channel 11's Noon Notebook. The Lubbock Concert Band is preparing for its Friday concert, which is free and open to the public. Brad Larson is here with details. Tell me a little bit about the concert band.
Well, the concert band, people know what a symphony is. It's got the strings and everything else. I think a concert band, probably the best way to describe it is, when I was growing up in the little town that I grew up in, every Saturday night, everybody in the town would go to the village square and we had a band concert.
And that's fun.
So it's the woodwinds, it's clarinets and flutes, and then it's the trumpets and the trombones and the tubas and things. And it's just really fun music. Concert bands are just fun.
And it's tomorrow night at 7:30.
Yes.
And tell us where it is this time.
It's at the...
They're kind of changing it up.
Yes, it's usually at a different place, but it's at the American Wind Power Center, or as I call it, the Windmill Museum. And it's tomorrow night, 7:30. It is free, and everybody's invited. The theme is Across the Fruited Plain. So this is all Americana. It's great music from the history of the United States, military songs from the Civil War up through World War I and World War II. There's river songs about the great rivers in the United States.
Which is why all these props
yes.
come into play here. We love that you bring props.
It's the military, it's the river songs, Shenandoah and Down by the River, and it's Americana, everything that's great about America. Circus, one of my favorite songs is Barnum and Bailey's Favorites. It's the great songs of circuses, which of course the Barnum and Bailey Circus closed last year, the last big U.S. circus closed last year, so it's a great trip down memory lane to hear about the music from the circuses.
Wonderful. Again, this is free and open to the public. It's at 7:30 tomorrow night, and all of the musicians are volunteers, so they are just doing this for the public, so that's great. Thank you so much for being here.
Happy to be here. Hope everybody comes. It's a great time.
Great. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Wilkie, a 16-year-old captive orca living in a French marine theme park, can be heard in recordings mimicking words such as hello, Amy, and counting 1, 2, 3. The scientist who led the study believes basic conversations with Wilkie may one day be possible. She is believed to be the first member of her species to mimic human speech. That's pretty incredible.
It is. Also, it's a French park, but they're using English to talk to the whale.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Maybe.
That is all of our time. We hope you have a wonderful afternoon.